What's up, family? Welcome back to another We Up Next podcast video. I'm Zay.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And in today's episode, we are going to do a recap of all the episodes we did this season. It's been a nice, long season, and I really enjoyed it. We both gathered a lot of information from the elders. Don't you agree?
Yes, most definitely. I also want to give a thanks to all the supporters and everyone who viewed and also gave us criticism that we used for other episodes. And I cannot wait to film season 2.
Yes.
So please be ready. Season 2 is going to be a great one.
It is.
So with further ado, let's get into this recap.
How have the organization made an impact in Baltimore City?
Man, great question. So when we first started this organization, back in 2018, Baltimore had 309 murders. 275 of the murders was Black men, and 175 of the murders was headshots. So myself and Doc, we took a team together and we just used that data. And that data told us that we need to engage the city, not just a block, not just a zip code, but the entire city, because Black men was down all over the city, but wasn't nothing geared towards that data in regards to we are going to specifically work on Black life, particularly Black men. So what we did was we crisscrossed the entire city, got other men involved, women involved, and we just dealt with people who had a genuine concern for our people and understood what needed to happen in order for us to have some success, particularly around homicides. So that's what this program is rooted on. And after 6 years, God has blessed us. We have 51 men on payroll and some women on payroll now. But for 4.5 years, we had $0. So we put the work in and, through the work, we have benefited from that, short-term, long-term. But we're in the schools, we're in the hospitals, we're in the prisons, we're in the juvenile facilities, we're in the streets, we're in the mosques, we're in the churches, we're in the synagogues. So our success is built on relationships, but also consistency, dedication, and just having genuine love for our people.
That was a crazy one. So did anything surprise you about that clip?
Yes.
What surprised you?
Yes, 309 murders and 175 headshots. That really surprised me because without me talking to them, I wouldn't have never even known about that information.
At all.
I'm not too big on the news myself. I don't really go on the news looking every day, looking there's another murder. I don't really like seeing that stuff, which is why I don't really watch the news. But knowing that information is just so crazy. And, I'm just really appreciative for these people. They're trying to help, slow that down, help stop that, help stop the anger in our community.
Yeah.
That really, really shocked me. 175 headshots, that's crazy.
That's execution. And not only that, this organization want to help that community because they say that nobody else is trying to.
Right.
Or to intervene with the problems that's going on because violence is always going to be everywhere, but as long as people try to attempt to stop it, it could be an end to it. And 175 of them were headshots.
Headshots. Those are Call of Duty numbers.
Those are crazy.
Call of Duty numbers.
A whole body just straight execution style was just, it's crazy, man. I was surprised when I heard that myself.
Very shocked.
And just talking to them, like he said, we would have never knew that because I don't watch the news and he don't watch the news as much. We get up on just certain things, but they didn't really tell us that much stuff that happened in the community, like the type of murder that they just spoke about. So I definitely learned a lot from that episode. And speaking to those brothers, it was a lot.
Right.
A lot to take in.
Right.
On to the next one.
So we do the assessment, find out what that young man needs, and then we address the need. But at the same time, we building a relationship, not just help him, but we got to hold him by his hand. And we got to guide him. And then we got to check on him, not through a text, a phone call, a visit. How you doing? How things are going? What you want to be when you grow up? Now, let me help you, right? Through action. We're taught that love is action, not a whole bunch of fluff, not a whole bunch of talk. So I want to show him I love him through my actions, through my consistency, right? So that's what I would start with right there.
Thank you, sir. Being that father figure that they don't have in their life.
That was crazy. He was talking about definitely having a figure and holding a brother's hand. You got to learn from somebody,
right?
Instead of learning. Nothing wrong with learning it by yourself, but having a figure in your life that already been through it and know what comes with living a certain way.
Right.
You're just helping not only that person out, but also helping his family and the community out in another way.
And it's important to just be there physically for somebody.
Yes.
It can make a huge difference. Instead of talking to them over the phone, being there physically for somebody can change a lot. Because it's just like having that connection. You talking to them face to face, eye to eye,
personal.
y'all looking at each other, y'all hug each other, y'all can talk it out. Just being right there in front of them, it makes a huge difference because they're gonna feel that connection. They're gonna feel love.
Yeah, instead of just
make a lot. And everybody in life needs a mentor. Nobody made it without a mentor. Everybody in their life had a mentor, which is why they are the person they are when they grow.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you're alone. You're never alone.
It's not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not wrong to learn from somebody,
Right?
Because they are well experienced and they can lead you to a better they can lead you to a better road than where you're already going on.
Right.
So it's definitely, I learned a lot from these brothers.
Right.
As I said again before, it's just like these clips, it says a lot about what this organization have done.
Right, and just look around you. Look at all the older people that surround you. Look at all the older presidents you see. Those are people you can talk to because they've been through what you already been through. You can learn from them. You can grow, by learning from them, So don't be scared, try to talk to people. You're never alone, And on to the next clip.
How can others support and get involved with this movement?
Well, it's no accident that the movement is consistent, the movement is working. It's no accident, just as it's no accident that our youngsters who practice basketball become good at basketball. The ones that practice football, they become good at football. Because what the rule is and the science says, whatever you do most, you do best. That's right. The wrong thing or the right thing. So when we talk about people getting involved, just they don't have to do a whole lot. They just gotta bring their passion into a process that has already begun. Like we're working right now, so they don't have to come in and do anything but join in the work. We're thinking right now, they don't have to do anything but come in and contribute their thoughts to the process. So just get involved and be selfless. One of the things that you find is that these men are standing behind me, even just the fact that they're standing behind us tonight, right? But they are really the ones leading us. Right? They're leading us by example because they're making their sacrifice, because sacrifice is contagious, right? It's almost like COVID. Sometimes you won't even see it. You can't see COVID, but if you're not careful, you're gonna catch it, right? And so we want this sacrifice to be catchable, right? And all you gotta do is join us. We're here. Just come join us because we're here.
Yeah, so this clip, it was very enlightening, you're learning, like him saying, whatever you give out, whatever you dish out, you're gonna receive back, regardless if it's good. If you do good, you're gonna receive good. You give out bad, you're gonna get bad. That's life. Whatever you do, you're gonna get back. That's life. That's why you should always do good. You always spread positivity because you don't want to give out that negative energy all the time. You don't want to be that negative presence because you're always gonna have negative energy be in your life, and your life is not gonna be what you want it to be. And never be scared to make change. A lot of people are scared to take the risk to make change because they're scared they might have the right support system, or they might be scared that they might have the right audience behind them. It's not. I feel like if you don't like something, you should make a change. Everybody can make a change. All you need is to trust yourself. Believe that you can make this change. Try to get a little supporting cast, so then eventually that supporting cast will be able to grow, and y'all be able to get more people in the community to come together and help make it into where we want it to be. That clip was very enlightening, and we on to the next clip.
First of all, don't trust no bully, bossy chick. The women that want to control you, tell you what to do, because she ain't your mother. Type, you know what I mean? So that's for starters. If she humble and meek and know how to clean and feed you, she do her part, you do your part. Because you're gonna be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
So make sure you keep your thing tight to make sure she keep her thing tight.
So you believe in a 50-50 household where both of y'all are working?
No, 70-30.
70-30.
Yeah.
So touching on the 70 and 30%, how do you feel about gender roles?
Women should cook and clean. I'm old school. I'm 50 years old. So women, I think they should cook and clean. And a man should provide and protect and bring money to the house. And help with the babies too, if you got babies.
So I find what Mr. Jermaine, when he was talking about gender roles, I found that very interesting. You know, it was like old gender roles and like the old traditional dating style. You know, I kind of don't agree with the woman should just cook and clean and the man pay all the bills, you know, because I'm in a different generation, so we think of things differently. I think, you know, instead of 70-30, I feel like in a relationship, everything should be 50-50. Because in a relationship, y'all both supposed to work together. You know, y'all both supposed to help each other. You know, what's the point of a relationship if you're gonna go 70-30 or, you know, 80-20? You know, what's the point? I feel like, you know, you go 50-50 in a relationship. There aren't gonna be no problems. There aren't gonna be no arguments, you know, because everything y'all doing everything together. You know, I feel like, you know, a relationship is a partnership. You know, everything you do is supposed to be together.
Yeah, and like cooking and cleaning, I feel like the men and women can do that.
Yeah, I could cook and clean. I can cook myself. I can clean for myself. Like, you know, I feel like, you know, as like, you know, we get a house together, you know, I don't feel like, you know, a man and a woman, y'all should split the bills together because y'all got that house together. This is y'all investment.
Yeah, and sometimes the men will feel like they're more in control of the woman because they pay the bills.
Right.
And not looking at it as an equal relationship. But you know, everybody is different. But I feel like the men, the female and the male is like, should be like 50-50 with everything. You know, cleaning dishes is just dishes. Just wash your dishes, man. If you made it, the women don't got to do everything. I mean, that's a feminine role. I mean, that's a role that women love to do for like their husband or boyfriends, but that's just a role like Jermaine, like people who are older, like do. But we're in a different generation, like Isaiah said, and you know, 50-50 is well known that everyone uses it. Even at my age right now, I do 50-50 because I wouldn't want like my girlfriend to like pay for like the whole bill. If I take out, I'm gonna pay for the whole bill because I took out, you know, but if we wanna go out, we can go 50-50. You know, it just happens.
Yeah, I'm saying like the man, you know, I'm gonna like when we go out, I'm gonna pay for majority of stuff. That's how I am.
Yeah.
I'm saying like when it comes down to like a house or whatever, I feel like the bill should be 50-50. I don't feel like girls should just clean and cook because I feel like anybody can do that.
Yeah, and that was an interesting episode with Mr. Jermaine too.
Yeah, and it was like you know, and another thing is like, you know, like a lot of what leads conflict in marriage is, other than cheating, you know, it's finances, because it's always about argument about who paid this, who paid that, who make the most this, who makes the most that, which is why like I emphasize the importance of 50-50.
You know, times can get hard. You know, that's what your partner is there to lift you up for, you know. It happens.
Right.
On to the next.
And also, like, how important do you think it is to keep other people like that's out of your like just keep other people like out of your relationship, like your friends? Don't tell your friends none of your relationship business. Your family members, you know, just keep everything within y'all. So just keep everything protected.
I go 50-50 with that, right? Only because it's like I get it that, you know, we have friendships or whatever, right? And we have friends that, you know, we talk to and ask for relationship advice. Right? And sometimes it may be good because, like I said before, like, you know, you need people that's going to check you,
right,
and give you a different perspective. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself, are you one of them people that could be easily manipulated or swayed? Because if you are, I could take some advice you give me, even though I don't agree with it. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm going to run with that because I don't have my own mind. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to know who you are as a person and have that understanding. Because if you easily swayed it, then you shouldn't put your friends into your relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a lot what he said. Definitely about keeping people out of your relationships. He said, know who you are as a person so you don't get easily swayed, as what he said. Sometimes it's not wrong for getting advice, but sometimes you react out of your emotions out of that time. At that time, because you might feel like that at that time, but once you go to sleep, I always say you feel different once you go to sleep. You know, you're gonna wake up with different emotions, so don't say anything that you feel like you're gonna regret in the future. So,
another thing I like that Spoon emphasized is keeping your friends out of your relationship, right?
Yes.
Your friends are always gonna have opinions, right? But they don't know your person like how you know your person. So I feel like all your problems you should keep within your relationship. You know, make sure if you have a problem, make sure to talk to your partner about it. Don't go telling your friends about, you know, y'all problems, because then they're gonna start to look at them a different way, and then, you know, when y'all get on good terms, then they're gonna, you know, you're gonna be weird. You know, you don't want to go through all that. It's just all mess, right? So it's good to just be organized. You know, keep everything within your relationship, and yeah, that was a lot of information to take in. You know, a lot.
Yeah, and I would say you know your person better than anybody you ask for advice from. Like, if you know your person is not really like that, don't seek advice from others that will make you look at your partner a different way.
Right.
Because once you do that, it makes you look easily like to get manipulated, and you never know, that person who break up your relationship want your significant other, and you see how that easy it was to break y'all up. And once they get with them, you just gonna be looking crazy like, dang, I listened to you, and then you just went behind my back and do that. Because people using our generation, you got backdoored. You know, you just got backdoor for your female or your boyfriend. So just watch what you ask. I mean, watch who you speak to about your personal relationships and stuff like that. So
I feel like that's a really good point. You know, you never know somebody's intentions when they're trying to give you advice, because they either try to make you or they try to break you. You know, there's been a lot of instances where, you know, your homeboy tell you to break up with her, this, that, and the third, whole time they have intentions on trying to get with her. So, you know, you always got to see through that. Again, don't be too easily manipulated. And, you know, always just keep one eye open. You know, just keep everything within your relationship. That is very, very important. And, you know, this was a lot of good information together.
It was.
On to the next episode.
Like, what motivated me to freedom.
yeah.
Freedom. And also, me being, I'm a husband, I have 3 kids. I'm the provider.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that everything was taken care of. So, you know, it was that, you know, I had my responsibilities, my financial responsibilities that I had to meet no matter what. You know, I was going to let that stress fall on my wife. And so that was one, but also the freedom, but also I love doing it. You know, one of the things I always tell people, you know, and I remember I was at Bank of America when I heard someone say if you're going to do something that you love. That always stuck with me, because what I was doing, I didn't love. I just did it for the paycheck.
No, that was a really, like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a lot. So I like how, you know, Calvin has emphasized, you know, taking sacrifices, right? As a man in the household, you have to take sacrifices. You know, you got to be that go-getter. You got to hustle. You got to get out there. You got to want it, because you got to make sure your family's straight. You know, you got to make sure your wife got everything she needs. Your kids got everything they need. Because if you don't, you know, what's the point of you being there? You know, that's your job as a man. You know, so, you know, Calvin, you know, how he mentioned how he had to step up, and like after he left his job at, you know, Bank of America, you know, he had to, you know, step up as an entrepreneur. He had to step up, you know, take those sacrifices, you know, take that extra step, work extra hard to make sure that his family was, you know, intact. He make sure his family was straight, because he didn't want to put the whole burden on his wife. Like, yeah, she was there to support him for like a small portion of time, but she didn't want him to like have a burden on her, you know? So it's important, like, as a man, again, to, you know, be that go-getter, go hustle, you know, take sacrifices, you know, that's what it's all about.
And also they need a breadwinner, the person that's gonna get the money, like, is gonna hustle. And like what Mr. Kelvin was talking about, he had to find a way that he can make his money for his household. You know, a lot of people, his family depended on him. You know, he can't let him down. He the man of the house. He is the man in his.
Right.
He is the man of his household. Right. And he just found a way where he can make money while being self-employed to himself.
Right.
And making his own money. And he's seen there was ways where he can fund his family needs and just able to do his own thing without having to have the stress of working at another job and depending on those checks, where he can make more money doing the stuff that he's doing now.
Right.
And that's a lot with being a man too in the household, because everybody depends on you. Well, I mean, not all the time, but most of the time you get dependent on once you're the man of the household.
Right.
And you really just can't give up. And as we was talking about in a episode, just having faith in yourself too, because without having faith in yourself, you really just can't. Nothing is possible without you believing that you can do it. So.
Right. And, you know, the thing is about being a man in the household, you're going to be the head, right? Everybody, your whole family, your wife, kids, they're always going to be looking at you. You got to always have a plan. You know, it's always important to have a plan as a man in the household, because everybody's looking at you, you know? So, like, you know, it is a lot of sacrifice, you know, it is a lot of, you know, stuff to take in, but that's a lot. It's good to know. It's good to know. We appreciate Mr. Calvin, you know, a lot for that information. And we on to the next episode. So you, I know you mentioned like your wife and everything, like how important was it that she supported you? Like how important is it to like have it important, like to have partner that supports you, a partner that doesn't judge you.
We get into one of my favorite topics is marriage and like that.
Yeah.
But no.
Not even if you're married, like just
relationships.
The importance of having like a supportive partner. Like somebody that's willing to invest in you.
Let me tell you, it's like so I've had many topics, because I'll talk about marriage with other married couples because I've been married a very long time. I've been married 22 years.
Right.
So one of the things that I've come to find, and I've said before with women, it's just like, as a man, what we want, one of the things we want is a woman to be there for us when we're at our lowest.
Right. Yeah.
And if you can't be there for me when we're at our lowest, what do I need you for? Sure, there's other things that that are there, but if you can't be there for me when I'm at my lowest point, then that speaks volumes to me.
Right.
So to have a woman who's able to, even though if you're down, even though if you ain't got no money, even like that, she's still not gonna leave you. She's still there to support you. Let me tell you that's so important because that stabilizes your faith in her. That stabilizes them. That stabilizes the trust, and that's so important in just in relationships now. It's to know that if things go down, I know that my wife or my husband, whatever, I know that they got my back. Because I say your wife or your husband, they should be your best friend. And if you can't depend on them and you're around them and you sleep with them every day, then why are you with me?
Right.
And that's one thing I can say for me being married for 22 years, it's not perfect, but at the same time, I know that I can depend on my wife when things go down.
Right. So out of all the information that we gathered from Ms. Calvin in this episode, I feel like this was the most important. Being able to have a woman, to depend on when you need it, when you're at your lowest, when you're at your rock bottom, to have that supporting cast. It's important to have a supporting cast, right? In the episode, Calvin had emphasized how, it's important to have a woman, that'll be there for you, that'll hold it down for you when you're at your lowest. Because you don't want somebody that's just like, gonna tear you down when you're at your lowest. You're not making the most money right now, so they're gonna tear you down. Like Calvin talked about how, his woman stayed through his lowest, and then when he got to his highest, he was actually able to take care of her, do whatever he wanted with her.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
And that wouldn't have happened without his wife. That's why it's like really important to, to have that supporting cast with you. To have a woman that really supports you, that loves you enough to hold you down even when you don't have it at all.
Yeah, definitely knowing you have somebody that will hold you down through your lowest, that definitely shows a lot of values, because not a lot of people will have a woman that will stick by them through the hardships.
Right.
But the man would, which is sometimes it's sad, but with him being married for 22 years, man, he said everything wasn't perfect, but they never gave up on each other. They always helped each other through the lowest to the highest. And it's like you're gonna always go through that storm in a relationship, but once it's up from there, it's up from there.
Right.
And it's definitely having that backbone in a relationship where everything goes down, you can depend on your significant other. That's what everybody should have and should be able to feel in a relationship, not just feeling like all the pressure is on them, because it's not always like that.
Right, and being able to find a woman, that'd be able to stay down with you like that is very rare nowadays. So it's important, when you get an opportunity like that, to don't take advantage of it, actually, take advantage of that, because it's not a lot of people out here that do stuff that are willing to stay with you when you're at your lowest, And when you get you a woman or a man, whatever way you roll, it's important, don't mess around on them, be there, and like I said, take advantage of that, because it's hard out here.
It's hard to find
this generation. So,
Everybody's worried about how much money they can get in a relationship, how much money the other person makes. Hey, that money is just temporary. It depends on how you just gonna stay there and be with them.
Right.
Because you can always build money, but if you only live for the money, once it's gone, what you gonna do then? You're not gonna be happy no more.
Right.
That's why some people say money don't bring you happiness. Sometimes it's true,
But that's not also true.
Yeah, it's not also,
Yeah, if money can bring you happiness a little bit.
Yeah, if I got 10,000, that'd be to make my year.
Yeah, right. But he does have a good point, though. That's a really good point. Well, yeah, we're on to the next episode.
Once you've been through what I've been through with the state penitentiary, the federal penitentiary and stuff like that, ain't no more setbacks, unless I'm going that route.
That's right.
Other than that, I don't even pay none of that other stuff no attention, man.
That's right.
I've been doing everything financially myself, you know, so I know how to move, you know, so by me moving the way that I move, I try not to, I didn't have mistakes and stuff, man. I done had setbacks in my life and all of those stuff, man. So now I'm kind of more focused on whatever I'm focused on,
Mhm.
you know, and just make it work, man. You know what I mean? So, no, I haven't.
And wow, Mr. Kemp, he spoke a lot about those setbacks, and I actually like what he spoke about because setbacks happen in every career.
Right.
You will always have something that will mess it up or try to get in between it, like try to intervene. It depends on what you do. Just don't, like he said, don't lose your focus on your dreams. Stay focused, and those setbacks are gonna happen. Beat it. You know, it's a battle. It's a, well, everything you do, just don't lose yourself and what you're trying to do. Just stay focused. What you think?
Yeah, you know, and most importantly, like, you know, learning from your mistakes, right? That's how you grow as a person, you know? Everybody's gonna have failure. You're gonna fail, you know? That's important. That's how you gain success, you know? Everybody that's successful, they had to fail sometime in their life, you know? And, you know, when you fail, you know, that's your, like, we go through those trials and tribulations, you know? That's the time when you learn more about yourself and you're able to grow and you're able to fight through that so you become, you know, whatever you're trying to do, you can overcome that failure and become the best you've ever been. So, you know, it's important, you know, like, you know, keep your composure, you know, never give up on yourself, you know, and yeah, you know, just learning from your mistakes, you know, it's really, really important, you know, that's how you really just grow as a person.
Yeah, and don't give up on your dream because it's not happening fast enough. You know, everything is a process. You know, fast money ain't always good money, but it's good to have fast money.
Right.
Just work through that battle, go through the whole process and watch how successful you will be. Never give up on your dreams.
Right. And everybody has their own journey, right? That's
Yeah.
why they say never compare yourself to somebody else's journey.
Never
You never
compare.
know what they've been through to get where they at. You know, that's why you should always focus on your journey. Never compare your journey to somebody else's journey because y'all on two different paths, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people that we spoke to was entrepreneurs, you know, and I want to be that myself, and I'm sure my brother want to do that too, and a lot of others that view, but it's a lot of stuff that we talked about that a lot of y'all can use, and a lot of y'all, it's a lot of things we said that y'all can use for yourselves.
Right.
And it's a lot of information that we shared, and we dropped a lot of gems, and I learned a lot. You know, it's some questions that I asked that I had for a long time.
Right.
I want to become an entrepreneur and own my own business one day.
You know, that's the importance of having a, you know, much older presence in the room. You know, we're able to learn. You know, that's why we're doing this series, so we can just learn, you know, from our older supporting cast, you know. And we can help y'all too as well, for the viewers that's watching.
Hey, thank you for sticking with us throughout this whole recap. We really enjoyed it.
Right.
We want to give a special thank you to all the viewers and all the supporters.
Yep, we love you
and
guys. We love you guys.
a lot.
We
I also want to
appreciate
thank my brother too for doing this amazing podcast, and also our managers.
Yep.
You know,
Mom, her husband, Mr. Calvin. We really do appreciate our supporting cast, and we appreciate you guys the most. You know, for being there watching us. You know, liking the videos. You know, it supports us a lot.
It really.
Y'all showing love. You know, we really appreciate it because you know we put in a lot of work. You know, to make this stuff happen. So yeah, and then you know season 2 is about to start up soon, and I know y'all can't wait for that. We're gonna get deeper. We're gonna learn more, and it's gonna be very inspiring. It's gonna be very fun. You know,
Definitely.
We're gonna learn a lot of new gems from our older presence. And,
yeah. Follow us on all platforms. This is We Up Next podcast.
Yep.
And
We Up Next everything: Instagram, Twitter,
Facebook, everything.
YouTube. Yeah, pretty much everything. All social media. Your way, everything.
Yeah, if you wanna, you know, tag us in different posts or like comment under our posts, and like y'all can give us more people that we can interview and like, you know, learn more about. Just tell us what y'all like sends like their social media so we can contact them and stuff.
Right.
We really appreciate that. And it's the New Year, so make sure y'all be safe.
Yeah, be
a
safe.
few more
Happy
hours.
New Year's. Also, Merry Late Christmas.
Merry Late Christmas.
Merry Late Christmas. Hope y'all enjoyed that. And Happy New Year's. Please be safe. You know, please, you know, focus on your goals. You know, this year, 2025, this is your year. And
We Up Next.
Yeah, We Up Next. We out.